You know what would be really funny, Ryan? If we just recorded this show for like an hour, right? Maybe two, maybe three.
Okay.
And at one point I tell you, hey, do you remember everything you just said for the last 2 to 3 hours? And you would go, no, why would I? I mean, that's why we're recording it, so we don't have to remember it. And I tell you, well, guess what? We didn't record any of that.
Wow, that would be epic.
Hey, I'm Emilio.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And welcome to the Terminally Online Pen Pals podcast.
We're two friends that have only ever met through the internet.
Join us as we talk about our lives in this epic show.
And the show starts now.
Welcome back to the Terminally Online Pen Pals podcast, everybody. Welcome
back.
Welcome back. This is the first time we were recording this today. We definitely didn't record about 4 minutes of the podcast before I realized that
Emilio screwed up his mic.
I didn't record my mic.
Trying to say.
So I just have 4 minutes of Ryan rambling about how he broke into someone's house. That I have already been told by his attorney to not share. So, yeah.
Thank you, buddy. I really do appreciate that. This pending legal case will be going on for quite a while, and I would prefer them to not have any auditory evidence of this happening, despite the fact I'm filming in an unfamiliar location that kind of backs up that crime anyway. And
that's what I was going to say. So if you guys are... Or,
just blur the background on the video.
If you guys,
nobody knows.
If you guys are listening to the show, you might not notice, but last week I brought something new, which was a different hairstyle. So it was Ryan's turn to mix it up this week. So
Emilio
changed
brought
his
the ball,
background.
I brought the house.
So Ryan,
I did.
What's up? What's up? We don't have to do the broken house bit anymore because we already saw that it's not funny. It's so unfunny that Audition was like, I'm not going to record that. I'm just going to...
It is true to a degree. We have been making this running gag of like whether or not does the house exist, you know.
I mean, it was never a running gag. You just talk about it. And it's always kind of the same update of like... Everything's going great except this minor detail that might make the house fall
down. This minor detail that might make or break the house. Well, guys, I'll tell you this much.
I think it was mold, then it was raccoons.
Well, that was all true. I'm actually looking at the room right now where we fixed the ceiling. So, for context as well, if you're watching the video,
Ryan, hold on. I forgot what I was gonna say. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, it's a house update from the actual house. This is awesome. Cue the house update intro, please. House update!
Wow, what an epic intro, Emilio, as always. That was amazing. And the fun fact is about it, it's kind of appropriate to introduce it again in this episode, because, guys, the house isn't fake, I promise.
Why are we at the house? Why are we at the house?
So I am down here at the house that I've been talking about for the past several months that I've been restoring. This is my great-grandmother's house. It's been in my family for well over 100 years at this point, like I described in the first episode.
This
is a house that I'm moving into.
That house can vote now.
Yeah, shockingly. Yeah, that's a long time, though, to be voted. That's a lot of elections since, like, the 1890s. But... yeah, this house has been around for quite a long time. I've talked about this on the show. We've been restoring this house on and off for 2 years. I'm planning on moving in at the end of this year or early next year because I am a grown adult with a full-time job. So it's time to start leaving the nest. I know, man-child aside, I am finally going off on my own of sorts, eventually. However, that being said, though, I was just down here playing my PlayStation 5. Emilio messaged me and said, hey, dude, we got to record the show. So I'm like, screw it. House reveal. Here we are now.
As we can see, the lighting in the house is terrible. That's still something that must be fixed, but...
Actually, it's just this room. The light's all the way over here, but I couldn't find a suitable setup for us to actually start recording. So for you, those of you, I know the professionalism on the show keeps going down every time. But we got to at least have something consistent here on this
We're losing
podcast,
investors,
okay?
everybody.
Well, we've lost so many investors already.
Donate
What's
to our
another one in
Ko-fi,
this, right?
please.
Kofi's eventually going to ban us. Not because we did anything wrong, but because you're promoting us on your crappy podcast where the lighting sucks on half the screen. Please stop asking people to use our site to give you money.
Just because the e-begging it stopped being a joke. It's just e-begging now. It's
for real now.
It's for real.
Like, it's no longer a joke. It's for real. Like, we're desperate. Guys, look at this. I need money to fix this place up so I can get better lighting. It would help the podcast quality. I would install a new light up here if I would ever record here again, and your donations will help.
Oh yeah.
But no, I figured I'd at least reveal part of the house here to show, yes, it does indeed exist. Again, the other possibility is I broke into someone's house, which, yeah, this is my house. So if anybody asks for legal
It's
reasons,
your house
it's not.
now.
It is now. Yes, it is. But this is legitimately the house I'm moving into, guys. Now you guys can confirm for real. This is, well, you can see a wall at least in the ceiling.
I mean, we've only ever seen one room of your house. So, for all we know, it's just the living room of your old house. Or
it could have. That's true. Actually, you know what? And I never... Wait, no, actually, from my past The Boss videos, you've actually seen other... That's how I know you've never watched The Boss, because I filmed in so many areas of my house.
Okay.
Outside of the... I just exposed my best friend on the podcast for never, ever checking out my content, thinking I've only ever shown the one room in my house. You bastard.
I meant, as I was saying it, I remembered that, yes, in past The Boss videos, you show your living room and your bathtub. All right. At least those are, and the kitchen. But I'm talking about the people of this podcast. Not everyone has watched The Boss. Those videos are like, what, 50 years old? Like, come on.
50 years old. That's half my, well, actually, no, that's not half my lifespan. I'm half that lifespan in my current age.
Half your lifespan? You're going to die when you're 50?
No, like when I'm 100.
Okay.
I hope. Well, I don't know. I can't do math. But, no. But again, for real though, guys, all jokes aside, yes, this is the house that I'm restoring. It's the one I'll eventually move into. And probably for future podcast recordings when I am fully moved in, this will probably be the house where we end up filming future episodes of the show. But that's not going to be for a while. I'm just down here for a few hours tonight, just kind of hanging out before I head back up home.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I figured at least a change in venue. Like Emilio said, he's bald now. He did something different. I figured I'd do something different and give you crappier lighting than usual.
It means I have to do something different for next week, guys. I have a week to think about it.
This is your opportunity to get that forehead tattoo.
Oh, hell yeah. So, anyways, Ryan, I want to ask you this. I already forgot. No, I'm just kidding. I want to ask you this.
This is the Amnesia podcast.
Is there, like, if percentage-wise, how far along are you with this house?
Good question, honestly. We've been working on this house again on and off for about 2 years.
10 years.
We've done 2 years. 10. Wow, I would have been 15 when we would have started. So no, but no, 2 years though on and off. We've been working on this house. We've done a lot to it. We've fixed up the roof, gotten rid of black mold, hauled out a bunch of trash, scrap metal. We've restored so many different things around here. Added in this big flat screen back here and a fireplace that's right next to me, which was a pain in the ass to assemble, by the way. Don't assemble your own furniture. Have someone build it for you. FYI. It sucks as part of house restoration. It's worth the money, I promise you. But we've done a lot to this place, and percentage-wise, I would say with our current jobs left, like with the bathroom behind me and a few other things, we're probably about 80% done at this point. Something along those lines. I'd say probably 80 to 85% done. So another 15% roughly left of the house, a heating system to fix up in a bathroom. Then, yeah, I'll be good to move in. But the bathroom's going to be the biggest project of them all. There's a lot of unknowns and a lot of money that's probably going to go into it.
Do you know how much money you've spent in the house?
I do. Well, I know what I've personally invested into the house. It's not just me; it's also been my family that have also investing their own finances and their own time into it. Now, their half of it, I can't really speak toward, but I know from my own pocket, I know what I've invested into this house, or at least a rough guesstimation.
Do you want to share it right now?
Nah, I'd rather save for the Ko-fi. Like when people start
Okay.
donating, we'll like have the extended version of it on there, and we'll reveal the amount. So we
Maybe
get $10 on Ko-fi.
the clickbait for this episode can be just like a picture of a like really crappy house, and a picture of me going like pointing out it, going like what, and the title can be "You'll never guess how much he paid for this."
Or me just looking shamefully in the corner with my head buried in my palm, like
I
I
got
can't believe I'm
scammed.
so. I got scammed, guys. It was a Facebook Marketplace listing. All right, it looked legit.
I have a funny anecdote regarding face. I don't know if I've told you this Facebook Marketplace story.
Dude, I have a lot I could. I've been buying and reselling on Market. I'm actually verified on Facebook Marketplace, by the way, too. I'm a verified seller.
Ladies,
13
ladies,
five-star reviews.
wait for your turn. We got a verified Facebook Marketplace user.
I don't think we've ever actually. I've mentioned this on the show in the past, outside of your anecdote, but I've been buying and reselling on Facebook Marketplace as a side business for a while now. I buy and resell video games, and I've had a lot of really cool experiences with doing it. But it has the potential to make a ton of money. But there is also the possibility of you getting scammed. And unfortunately, I've been scammed several times in the past with purchasing things online. I have stories to share with that after your anecdote.
Well, let's just put a pin in that. We have to do the weekly tradition of asking the other what we did this week and then say nothing and ramble on.
Yes, I introduced something new for this episode, so why don't you start us off? What did you do this week, outside of being bald still?
I just sit every morning and I have a mirror and I just stare at myself waiting for my hair to grow every day from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m.
The fact you have a designated time slot for that is really sad. 3 hours out of your day.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, I posted the video where I get my buzz cut. So yeah,
it's a decent video.
It was a nice trip down memory lane, looking for all those old clips, and it was fun. I saw my grandma a while back, actually. My grandma has gotten really into watching travel vloggers on YouTube. And,
I did one of those.
And one of her favorite travel vloggers visited North Korea. And so my grandma was saying, like, well, it'd be kind of interesting to visit North Korea. And I said, Grandma, if you want to go to North Korea, I'll go with you. And we started to look into all the travel details and documents. So stay tuned. There might be a North Korea episode.
Oh no! We mentioned North Korea like on Trash Talk, but it was all memes.
Ryan, I'm gonna cut that out because if the North Koreans find all those old clips, I'm not gonna be allowed into the country.
No, so cut this portion of the pod. We'll just pretend that your grandma's going on a trip or something.
Yeah, my grandma invited me to a undisclosed location. So what's up with you, Ryan?
I started a new job. This is my first week. I am now officially a teacher, everybody.
Whoa.
Yep, my last day. For those of you who didn't know, I still work in a prison, but originally I worked as a I feel like
wait, hold on. I feel like we never discussed that.
Oh yeah, we actually never clarified that, I guess, huh?
Guys, Ryan's actually a warden.
I was a corrections officer for about a year. I was working around some very hardened criminals on the daily. Yeah, and I put in for a teaching job. Yeah, there's a lot of stories with that, a lot of which I can't share. But
For
It was
legal
it was an
reasons,
interesting
that's
job.
a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Yeah, that's for legal reasons. Yes, yes, it is. But I put in for a teaching job in order to teach inmates and help them get their GEDs. That way they can get a degree and they can go and re-enter society with some kind of education. And this was my first week working that job.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool, right? I mean,
No, thank you, buddy.
I think with prison, especially in the U.S., I think it's like I don't know. I see it as a pretty noble job to be helping like these people facilitate their rehabilitation into society,
Exactly.
especially because even for non-violent crimes, it can be like very hard for them once they leave to get a job and sort of readapt to everything. And you know, most people that were in prison once return because you know there's not many job opportunities, especially.
Exactly.
So I think that's pretty cool, Ryan. Now let me
Well, thank
tell
you,
you
buddy.
about a Facebook Marketplace anecdote.
Woohoo! Facebook Marketplace scam. Let's go. Again, for the record, if you're buying anything on Facebook Marketplace, don't spend a ton of money at once, depending on the item, because you might end up like old Emilio here.
Well, this didn't happen to me. I've actually never bought anything on Facebook Marketplace. When I was in high school, I remember I traded soccer trading cards on Facebook Marketplace. But I didn't.
Oh, hold on, I gotta get my obligatory call ready. Nerd
Well,
alert!
it's
We
a
got a nerd
sports
alert
thing.
here.
Anyways,
Nerd alert!
So I don't know. I think I never got scammed. There were definitely like a lot of weirdos that were like, "Sure, you can come to my house and we can exchange cards here." I'm like, "Fuck no." I might be 15, but I'm not that stupid. Anyways,
You shaved your head for 100 subscribers, and then recently shaved it again for 1,000 subs for 10 years on YouTube.
yeah, but I never got scammed.
And you watched the Emoji Movie for a video.
Well, that's just content. That's a business expense. That's a business expense. Anyway.
Okay, sure. Tax write-off,
Yeah,
all that.
IRS, that was a business expense. Anyway.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
No, I got invited to this party one time. It was kind of it was they rented out a house with a pool in sort of the outskirts of the city. So it was like pretty far away from where I live. It was in the middle of nowhere, basically. And so it was a bunch of people that were going to that party. I think we were probably just short of 20 people. So I think it was a decent number of people to let down. Anyway, so we arrive at the location and everybody's just waiting outside. So we're just like, well, maybe the birthday person will come over and let us all into the house. Anyway, so she eventually arrives and she tells us, guys, I think I just got scammed. What do you mean? Well, the lady I rented the house out to blocked me, and
Yep, that's a indicator right there.
The lady that rented the house to me blocked me, and and there are already people inside the house saying that they rented it out already. And we're all just going like, oh man, what the fuck, man? And for example, on Airbnb, well, you can report it, right? And you get your money back. And I asked, where did you?
We're talking Facebook Marketplace.
And then
here,
I said, where did you rent it out? Where did you rent it from? Facebook Marketplace.
It's like, okay, that explains right off the bat.
And I say, I didn't know you could rent houses on Facebook Marketplace. And someone else went. Actually, if this teaches us anything, is that you can't.
No.
Yeah.
Technically, it's illegal.
So she got scammed. Apparently, she already gave him like
Yeah.
$200 to rent the
Wow.
place. So yeah. We all went to someone else had like a house nearby. So the party was just held over there.
Yeah, but still, though, getting scammed out of $200 or any amount of money for that matter, isn't a good thing. Don't scam people online, guys. I think it's a good takeaway from that story. If you're going to earn money in any regard, do it the legitimate way, like
starting
what
with
we do.
Kofi.
Like starting a Ko-fi. That's a good way to make money. Speaking of Ko-fi, give us the money.
If you
But
give
no,
us
for real.
$200 right now, you can rent out this house with a pool, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be epic.
I'll tell you what, if you want the true experience, you guys can rent a room here in the house that I'm fixing up for $200. It's not a scam, I promise. It's real. See? Greens. I'm reaching back. There's no green screen. Oh, I know. There's
Epic.
supposed to be a green screen there. Green screen.
Anyways, Ryan, so how many times have you gotten scammed on Facebook Marketplace?
Marketplace. Actually, in the year, I've been buying and reselling on Marketplace since about 2019. And again, I'm a verified seller on there because I try and make honest.
Oh, ladies, calm down. Verified Facebook Marketplace seller.
I know, it's crazy, but I've built up a reputation. I have 15 followers on my Marketplace profile for people who...
That's so stupid. Why do you say that so proudly? Like, I didn't even know you could follow people on Facebook Marketplace.
You can! That's why I'm proud of it, because you didn't even know it existed. I'm proud of it because I'm a verified seller and I've made good money and making honest deals.
So how did you get
But no,
scammed? Was it selling
I've been
or
scammed.
buying?
I haven't scammed anybody selling to people.
No. What I mean is
like products. Like with buying.
Like you were gonna sell something and they just never.
I know what you mean. Like buying something off of someone and going to resell it, because that's generally what I've done.
I know someone else. I don't remember if they did it on Facebook Marketplace. I don't remember who it was that they sold their PlayStation, but like they sold it and the other person told them, "Yeah, I already sent you the money," but they gave him like a fake screenshot and they already sent it away.
I last got scammed 2 months ago on Facebook Marketplace, and I met a guy behind a Sheetz gas station in order to purchase a Sega Saturn console off of him for $20. Now, at the time when I saw the listing, it looked dirty, it looked a little beat up.
Sounds
it's
a little cheap, my man.
Yeah, a little bit. It sounds too cheap, right? So I met with the guy. He lived nearby. I met with him at the gas station. I'm like, okay, $20. This would be a good profit, because these old Sega Saturn consoles, for those of you who know retro games, they're worth about $150. Which right away should have told me, okay, why is he selling this thing so cheap? So I meet with the guy.
You said that it was beaten up, right? So
it was true, but still, though, if you take it to a local game store that deals in retro consoles, they'll give you at least half of its retail value for it. So hypothetically, it's worth $150. I get $75 for it. I make $55 profit. It still would have been worth picking up for $20. So, but I went and picked up the console off of them. I didn't take a good look at it like I should have, because it came with 2 gaming controllers. But at the time, I was like, this is a good quick flip. I'll make some good money off of it. So I took it to the local retro game store that I've dealt with. And there's some good people who work there, and they know me because I've gone in there for years. I go in there, I give them the console, and I'm like, I don't know if it works or anything, guys, but, I was kind of expecting it to be worth a little bit more money. The guy plugs it in. The thing is so dirty and beat up, he has to get a cord from the back just to see if it works on the TV, and he's like, Ryan, I don't know how to tell you this. This console's been gutted. And I'm like, wait, what? The entire console's internals and electronics were either gone or fried. It was basically just a shell that was maybe $5 in store credit. Now, you might be asking yourselves, the console's not worth money. What about the controllers? I bought a Sega Saturn console. They were Sega Genesis controllers for a completely different console and worth no money. and it was right there on the controller, and I didn't pay well enough attention to it. And the guy gave me the wrong controllers. The console was completely beat up, and the internals of it were gone. I lost $15 that day, guys. And to this day, every time I try and buy and resell Sega products, I always end up losing money. I've only done it like 3 or 4 times, but after this console incident, I'm like, I am done with buying this stuff, okay? I'm sticking with Nintendo and PlayStation and whatever else. No more Sega stuff.
Another crazy scam story you've got?
Yeah, I got not from Facebook Marketplace, though. I've talked about this, I remember, when we did Trash Talk, that episode with Jesse. I think I mentioned a few times I got scammed buying off of Amazon. And a lot of people... It's weird because a lot of people view it on Amazon. I've been scammed twice.
Whoa.
And Amazon, the biggest thing is, a lot of people think that Amazon is more reliable because, they're a big corporation. They have to verify the sellers that are on there. They store all the products in a warehouse. They ship them out. If you have Amazon Prime, typically you have more, I guess, access to some of their products, whatever. They view Amazon as pretty reliable. But I've bought 2 different items on there in the past where they never arrived and I lost the money that I invested. The first ever item that I ever got scammed on, and one of the only times I got scammed on Amazon, was buying my best friend a Pikachu coin bank back in 2019 for his birthday. He's a big Pokemon fan. It was a unique item. It was being shipped directly from Japan. It was a cool item. I paid about $70 to $80 for it through Amazon Prime. And guess what? Here I am about 6-7 years later, and it still has never arrived.
And did you file a complaint with Amazon?
No, because the seller mysteriously never showed back up on Amazon again that I was ever able to find. I think it was like one of these scam like shell companies where they'll list products, take your money, and then just change the name. It's the same thing with the second purchase I ever did where I got scammed on Amazon. I bought a figure for my Final Fantasy collection, the game that's based off of my tattoo. Check that episode out if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, shameless plug of our own content. But I bought a figure from a character that's in the game, and that one was more expensive than the coin bank. That one was about $100 or $120, somewhere in there. Once again, the product never arrived, and on that one, I should have filed a complaint to get the money back then, but I didn't for some reason.
You should have.
That was
both
also like
occasions you should have done it.
2020.
Well, I mean, I still think you should have filed a complaint because I think you could have gotten your money back.
I should have, admittedly. I don't know why I didn't. That was like 6 years ago now, or 7. Looking back, I think I was in the middle of college or something else came up around that time to where I was like, screw the $100, I don't need it right now. I'll just go and get something else.
Guys,
but
no,
nowadays, if I was making that purchase,
you do need that money.
Nowadays, I'm like, I'm not throwing that money away. I'm going to go to your company.
I'm giving the top podcast boys money on Ko-fi with that money.
Are you going to donate to the podcast yourself to encourage people to donate to us?
No, the only thing I'm going to do is follow us on Instagram and TikTok to stay updated with this show, TOPP.pod, right? Both Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe to the YouTube, right? Okay. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you're feeling like it,
Please.
give us a little coin on Ko-fi. I don't think we've mentioned it that we have a Ko-fi.
No, I don't think we have, but if you guys were so inclined, donate something to us on Ko-fi, a little something for our troubles. We can up the budget of the show.
As you guys know, Ryan lost at least $200 on Amazon.
On Amazon, so I got to recoup that money somehow, guys. I'm negative 200 on Amazon right now, technically. So any money you have would be appreciated. But if you can't be bothered to give us any money, at least check out our social medias, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, and of course, continue listening here on Spotify.
And Apple Podcasts.
Or just check out the shorts and Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating if you think we deserve it.
Good.
So nobody's going to rate fun. Take care, guys.